Damn, let's go. You realize you're the first guest on this podcast with the most amount of followers. the the biggest internet
अभी
personality yet on
मेरा
Kushkas.
अभी आधा फॉलोइंग इधर शिफ्ट होने वाला है. Also the most educated person you've had here probably.
Probably, yes.
Only one
Only
who has
one.
completed his degree.
Yes. The most educated person I know. So, when did you complete your med school? Very recently, I know, but like,
5 months back.
oh,
Actually 4 months back. So I
damn.
finished sometime, I ended my exam sometime around March. Had my results by the end of March and I was interning by April.
That's pretty insane, bro. Like 5 years of college.
5.5.
5.5 years of college.
There's
Damn.
9 more before I finish my internship completely and then I can practice on my own.
Let's go.
So all the people who keep asking me, भाई तू मेरे को XYZ दे सकता है क्या? वो 9 महीने बाद दे सकता हूँ.
So, med school. How was med school?
Very horrible. The education system in India leaves much to be desired because like the situation is just how much am I allowed to swear here?
Oh. See, you can go beyond your limits, like just go unhinged kafi. Do not worry, I'll censor it obviously.
Yeah,
according to
so
the
the education system in India is essentially
because if in the future I make a members only podcast, I think you will be a very frequent co-host on that. But no, you can just go absolutely harm,
yeah,
like
so
nothing.
the education system in India is absolutely fucked when you try to get into medicine, especially. So med school itself is quite shit because you have 19 subjects to finish. There's usually not enough time. Now, I come from a very privileged background in a very privileged college where private colleges are generally a lot lenient
Yeah.
with their students and government colleges are. But just the process of getting into medicine itself takes such a toll on you that the most menial tasks then begin to weigh down on you further and further as you proceed.
Oh, for real. I know ki the cutoffs and like the whole state of open category and all is like pretty damn fucked, but like that is not what I want to get into, but I think that is where the privilege plays a major role.
Yeah, it gets very cutthroat because the cutoffs are very steep, and if you are unable to get into the top colleges, for instance,
Huh.
I wouldn't say top colleges, if you are unable to get into a government college, which if you have 600 out of 720, which is an excellent score, you will be placed someplace in the periphery of Maharashtra or in the periphery or some village in Karnataka because it's a government medical college.
Okay.
And you spend the next 5.5 years living in that space where the
Damn.
nearest McDonald's is probably 30 kilometers away for you. That I did not want to do that. My score wasn't good enough to do that anyway, but even the semi-government colleges that I was getting were pretty far away, and so I figured that I had the privilege to choose a college in Mumbai and live here.
Oh, damn.
So I did not have to. That's what I mean by a privileged background, a
Yeah.
privileged college. A lot of people don't have this option. So most people, when they get into one of these colleges, they will go there anyway. And the further away you move from the city, the worse ragging gets, the worse the professor's behavior with the students gets,
Oh.
because they don't want to be there. As someone who studied for 15 years in your life, you probably don't want to be an assistant professor in a college in Pravara Loni, for instance. Takes like, I don't know, it takes like
कहाँ है वो?
10 hours to go by road.
करेंसी अलग है क्या उधर
रहेगा probably, उधर Indonesian रुपया चलता रहेगा.
But that is kind of fucked up also. But
तो उसमें से फिर if you do not have 600, let's say you have 590, you still end up in private.
yeah.
And if you have like 160, the bare minimum qualifying, if you can pay for it, you can get into private. So then in private colleges, you get this dichotomy of students who are either super smart, they just missed the cutoff by this much, and that leaves them very bitter for the rest of their medical career
yeah.
because you constantly like at the end of the day, you are sharing your classroom with a bunch of monkeys you don't think they deserve to be doctors.
Okay. People who do not deserve. Bro, I have people in my school. I mean, I'm not doing med. But उनको देख के लगता है इनको right to education नहीं होना
Exactly. Like you
चाहिए.
sit next to someone and you think that this person is able to vote. This person, this person is directly influencing the government of your country. And so, for instance, I don't want to say the roll number of this lady because this might reach like the audience in my college at some point. But a person whose roll number was very close to mine during Vivas, there have been points where you just look at them and you think, what the actual fuck? Like,
What the-
like, when the professor asks you to give an example of a flat bone in the body, their answer is thigh bone.
Yeah.
In what fucking alien is the thigh bone flat? How are you able to walk with a flat thigh bone? हेड फेस नेक के टेबल पे यूटरस को उसने टंग को यूटरस बोला था. ऑर्गन टंग रखा है. फाइनल्स में वाइवा में उसने उसको यूटरस बोला है. उसने sternum, so we have a bone called the manubrium which is attached to the sternum. So you usually write a bone report in forensic medicine.
Okay.
So you get the sternum with the manubrium. You're supposed to draw the bone. You're supposed to label it. She has drawn sternum with sacrum, which is a bone in your at the end of your spine, in your hip. Because the manubrium and sternum sort of look similar. They're both triangular. That's where the similarity ends. So she's drawn a whole sternosacral joint which
Damn.
cannot exist.
These are the same people जिनको पूछा लेबिया किधर है वो लोग बोलते हैं अफ्रीका.
Exactly. Yeah. It is the capital of South Sudan.
South Sudan.
No, but you see these people, I have to sit next to them in certain postings. For instance, when I had my rural posting, we would go to this village in Panvel.
Okay.
We would go there every day. So we'd report to college. A bus or a car would leave from our college to Panvel. So it would be a 4-hour commute in total from my house to that village.
Okay.
Every single day, one way. Like
Oh
3
damn.
hours one
So
way.
8 hours then
Traveling.
yeah.
Pretty much like 7 to 8 hours traveling. And you would go there, you would go to orphanages, we would go to churches, we would go to old age homes, leprosy patients from the periphery who have been living in these hospitals for years on end. And you're supposed to check up on their vitals, listen to their complaints. If you find an anomaly, you're supposed to report to a senior. But you are the primary care physician as far as they're concerned, you are the doctor for them.
Oh.
And for me to share my seat, for me to sit next to this person, feels like an insult to my intellect. I may not be the brightest in the bunch, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm certainly
Libya is not South Sudan's capital.
in a tool shed full of lawnmowers and chainsaws. I am not a spoon.
Oh yeah.
That is the best analogy that I can come up
But bro, what? Now that I think of like you said like 5.5 years were like badass shit, ठीक है? And now you are like कि there are people who just like missed it like इतने से marks and like it inflicts upon those 5.5 years. And then there's another extreme of students which do not deserve education. Are there any people in the middle like who are just figuring it out? Why are they here?
There are a lot of people. Ignorance is bliss bolte hain, so a lot of people are just ignorant throughout their whole time, and that is how they are blissful. Like they're just able to have a good time in medical school.
Have a good time in medical school.
Rest of
5.5 साल का पैकेज लिया है क्या वो लोग ने हॉलीडे पैकेज?
हॉलीडे पैकेज मतलब मेरे कॉलेज में तो बहुत बच्चों ने हॉलीडे पैकेज ही लिया था.
हाँ क्या?
तो मेरे इधर तो थोड़ा सिचुएशन थोड़ा अजीब ही था.
All right. But like overall, how was the experience?
So from what I have discovered is that 10th के बाद मजे हैं, 12th के बाद मजे हैं, ये बोलने वाले जो लोग होते हैं, the ones that who end up in medicine who think MBBS के बाद मजे हैं. This is the biggest lie that Indian society can tell you. Genuinely speaking, in any other field, like I have friends who are engineers from middle of the road colleges who did a little bit of hard work during their college days. Coursera पे 2-4 उन्होंने extra degrees किया, they did like a couple side 3-month courses, 4-month courses on the side. They kept doing that, racked those up, and with just a little bit of effort in engineering, my classmates from school are earning 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs per month already.
Already, damn.
It's their since engineering is a 4-year degree and they joined with me. This is their second year of working. They've switched companies. Some of them have gotten promotions. Some of them are leading their own teams already. And this is what I have seen with my own eyes. And plenty of them are living very comfortable lives, good, comfortable lives.
Okay.
So, to a certain extent, to a lot of other fields, you can extrapolate this. But in medicine, the way that it has become and the way that it is, the direction that it is proceeding in, it's becoming a specialist's world. So,
Oh yeah.
MBBS is no longer sufficient.
Probably that I guess like a year and a half back when you were in your final year
Third
or
final
some
year, yeah.
third final year or something, I asked you like what are your plans or something, because my friends that time were like giving their needs and like were getting into the whole scene, and that was the time you told me that you wanted to get into you wanted to be a gynec surgeon or something, because again the whole scene of the medical scene is pretty shit or something.
Even gynecologists are not that much
Because
in demand.
because you also said that it's a very open-minded field or
Yeah, no,
something.
you need an open-minded person in
Yeah,
gynecology.
sorry, yeah.
Society is shifting more and more towards global standards in India. And you see a lot of cases where things about sexual medicine, reproductive medicine, and sexual health and female awareness in general, the condition is still pretty bad in India. Most, even modern gynecologists, the people that you see in the city, the doctors who are practicing in Beach Candy, doctors who are practicing in Bandra, all these urban places, they might still hold very conservative mindsets. And there is always a fear of judgment when you go in with a certain type of complaint. Like if you go in with a complaint of a venereal disease, STIs,
Yeah.
or if you think that you might be pregnant and you want to get tested and you're unmarried, you're 18, probably in your first, second year of college.
Yeah.
Even though there are laws in place to protect you, a lot of the times you don't know the laws. You are very anxious.
Oh yeah.
तो गायनेक पेशेंट तुम डॉक्टर के पास जाने के चक्कर में यू आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम साइकाट्रिक इलनेसेस द होल टाइम.
कितने डॉक्टर के पास जाने का भाई.
Exactly. So that becomes a issue. So someone like me who is very open, who I can make people comfortable around me, I am easy to talk to, despite what my appearance might suggest. I'm a very friendly and easy to approach person.
Although Dr. Amba Singh is 21 plus, only content, but
Yes.
Dr. Sarthak is something.
Yeah,
It
so
appeals
my
to all
real-life
ages.
persona is very different from my internet persona. So what I was saying is, after MBBS, there is no longer. There used to be a time where you could become a family doctor, you could be a general physician. That is no longer the case.
Paracetamol wala.
Yeah, general physician has now shifted to MD medicine. So after doing a specialization, you will be earning 1.5 lakh starting.
Oh.
So 8.5 years of education and your starting salary is 1.5 lakh.
1.5 lakh.
2 lakhs at the most. If you're able to really pull some strings, get into a really elite hospital at a good position, which is very rare and super competitive, 3.5, you're pushing it. Eventually, over the years, 5-6 years down the line, you might be able to take it to 5-6. And that is a lot of money. But for the amount of effort that you're putting in, and compared to your peers who will already have amassed their own wealth by then. So if you want to take, for instance, the gynecology route, for me, it would be specializing now and then doing another fellowship for 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years, and then getting into like a subset of gynecology.
Okay.
Like I would either do high risk obstetrics would be an option. Neonatal and maternal surgery is an option where you operate on the fetus inside the womb.
Damn. That's possible?
That is possible, yes.
That is possible.
And that is one of the upcoming fields. So a lot of the defects that you would normally have to wait till birth to correct are now being corrected in the womb itself.
Damn. Bruh.
So with the availability of these doctors, no one wants to go to generalists anymore.
I mean, why would someone? Because
Exactly.
at the end of the day, it's your health. It's
You don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk it. Someone in the village, someone who is unable to afford the luxury because you will be paying for my 15 years of education.
Huh.
I am obviously coming out of this degree expecting a certain amount of pay grade.
Yeah.
So for the elite and affording, if I have the slightest trouble, I will probably go to a super subspecialist.
Yeah.
With 15 degrees. For one of the staff working at my home, that might not be the case. So 10, 20 years back, general surgeons used to operate on a lot of different things from head to toe. Today, general surgeons are one step above MBBS and that's it. You are 20,000 rupees above MBBS.
अच्छा रेट भी मालूम
Rate bhi
है
utna hai. So you do MBBS general surgery for 3 years.
yeah
Then you take another entrance exam.
okay
And then you do another 3 years of subspecialty or super
okay
specialty, you call it here.
हाँ
And then you become a GI surgeon or you become a neurosurgeon, whatever. And then even neurosurgeon or GI surgeon isn't enough.
yeah
Then you do fellowships in neurosurgery to get into endoscopic neurosurgery, or you get into cerebrovascular neurosurgery, or you get into minimal invasive neurosurgery, or you get into robotic neurosurgery, or you
so
become
there's just
never
plenty
ending.
of it's never ending
It's
it's
never
just
ending.
plenty of opportunities at your like whatever you want to do but does it come down to like it's not about the money it's more about what I do for the people like is there somewhere
That might be the case when you start off,
okay
because
but like
the
down
whole
the line
stereotype of the angry young man who wants to change the system and you want to
हाँ
help the people and everything is fine.
हाँ
Once you grow up, you realize that life is a little more nuanced. So once you start thinking about family, once you start thinking about building your own empire or settling down,
also the fact that doctors aren't really respected in India.
they aren't.
Bro, I swear to God, जब COVID का peak था, these are the only people who are out there being the first line of, precaution what we
And we
have.
were denied housing in societies.
Yeah.
You would get kicked out of the society gates because we don't want doctors to bring the
Yeah.
coronavirus inside our.
Doctors being beaten up. I'm like, bro, that was the time I was like, "Ki the $3,000 that guy is, charging me for like just going and talking to
That
him.
is, 1,000 of those are going to his bouncer,
Yeah.
going to the security guard downstairs.
It's probably justified. But all right, I get a pretty much like a brief idea of what the whole medicine scene is.
So the one thing that I would want to touch upon, like this is some.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of your viewers are from your age group. Some of them still might be giving.
See, that also the reason I took this topic is because some of my friends are in your college only. They are also pursuing medicine essay. But like people do not really understand what
What goes behind it.
what goes behind med school. The only reason I am, also asking you about this specifically is because I've been friends with your sister and I've been looking at your family, because even your parents are doctors and everything, that it's very different. The whole scene is super different when it comes to like academics wise or in general, how it goes on about how you should go about your life. So, it was just something very intriguing.
Yeah, so the reason it's different from everything else is from the get go. So entrance exams in general, like be it engineering or
Yeah.
law or medicine or whatever, it's just a rat race. And people have this obsession with getting to the zenith
Oh,
when you really don't have to. And it's unrealistic for everyone to expect to be there.
yeah.
Like,
Where does it end?
where does it end? Where does the madness end? Like once you are in AIMS, you are still only an MBBS doctor, and being from a top institute does not ensure that you will get into a top institute after that. So some cases where I have observed people who give NEET thrice, twice, get into the best colleges,
Yeah.
right at the age of, they start med school at the age of 20. Sometimes some of my classmates were 22 when we started, 22 years old in first year. And then you have to again write an exam to get into a specialty, again write another exam to get into a super specialty. It's insane, and you cannot
Yeah.
possibly expect to clear everything in the first step. So there will be a lot of gap years in between, and it is one of the most depressing feelings on earth to sit at home studying when you see your friends moving forward in life.
Oh.
It feels like the world has stopped revolving. It feels like time has stopped for you and no one else.
Oh.
It's like you are stuck in a limbo, and that is a very depressive feeling. And the onus all the concept, the idea of giving these exams in India is always just to get into a government college and nothing else.
Oh.
And if you don't, then you're a failure.
Yeah.
And you sort of suffer through this very so obviously mental health is the worst in medical branches. Drug abuse rates are the highest in medical branches.
Oh.
Suicide rates are the highest in medicine, and amongst, because a lot of the factors like high stress environment, you have all the incentive to commit suicide, you have access to drugs, you have the knowledge on how to end a life. When you combine all these factors, it's not a very good cocktail. You have to take something out of it, and it cannot be the other things because that is your profession. What needs to be taken out is stress.
Yeah.
So when I visited Europe recently, for instance, I looked at the doctor's lifestyle there, and I had the opportunity to interact with a couple of professors in the universities that I visited. Surgeons there, the maximum they will work in an hour in France is 60 hours, which is like a dream in India because the average work week here is 80 hours.
60 hours is like baseline for a, it's for someone, as you said, Joe MBBS karke, he just calls it a day. Like he has his own clinic and he's practicing medicine. 60 hours is that cap for wo sect of people in India. And now you are saying that is for the surgeon in France.
That is the maximum that a surgeon in France will do.
Oh, damn.
And he lives the most lavish lifestyle you have ever seen. He's rocking expensive watches.
Okay.
Pulls up in a BMW X7. And he gets to sleep at night.
Oh, damn.
And here the training is
He
so bad.
gets to sleep at night. Bare minimum.
That's really like you enter these colleges and they tell you, when you enter residency especially, when you have clinical duties on you, one of the first things that a lot of program directors will tell you, and this really gives me like boils my blood, if you get 5 or 4 hours of sleep a night, you should consider that a blessing. Why should I? Why is it like this? Like, why is the system so shit? And during COVID, many of the doctors abroad, I think it was the statistic was around 30% of the doctors in the US took an early retirement because they realized that healthcare system is so broken. This is what the US doctors realized, where the healthcare system is a dream for Indians. They think their healthcare system is broken because they had to work 90-hour work weeks once in a while. In my college, the residents do not leave the wards. You carry your bags, you carry your towels, you have to brush in the patient's bathroom, in the shared bathroom in the ward. Sometimes your professor will walk in, like your head of unit. If it's been a bad day for him, he will give you an instruction like, none of you leave the door of this ward, not the hospital. None of you leave this ward for the next 72 hours.
Casually just drops it.
Casually just drops it. And then you sleep on a bed next to the patient.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
That's kind of brutal. Do you have any insane stories, like some fucked up shit that happened?
So I've got a lot of insane patient stories. And thankfully, India does not have particular guidelines. The US has like HIPAA. I am not quite sure what the full form of it, I don't recall it. But you can't disclose patient details also. Like you cannot even disclose the details of the disease unless you have consent.
Okay.
In India, that is not a factor because patients are not people. They are patients for us. That is just how it is. When you have such a large, they are a statistic.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So like this one time we had a patient who inserted a whole pen inside his urethra backwards. So you could see the nib of the pen poking out of his urethra. And that's it. That's all you could see.
It's just painful, bro.
Then
how the fuck did how the fuck did he tell you what has happened?
he just whipped it out, dog.
ये हो
He
गया.
just asked like the females to leave the room. He went to the examination room with one of our professors and he was like, "Aisa tha hai." The professor clicked a picture and he bought it and he showed me and I was like, dog, it's like 9:30 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. A Wednesday morning, sorry. Right, 9:30 a.m. I just had breakfast 5 minutes back. And sorry, what did I have for breakfast? Sausage.
Sausage.
Banger than mash.
So was it like, did you all
No,
treat
it was a
it?
surgical case, yeah. You have to, so we had to dissect the whole thing from the outside.
Why would someone do that, bro?
It's called sounding. It's a whole thing. It's r/sounding on Reddit. Very informative.
R/sounding.
Sounding.
Okay, what does it? No, I'll
So
just.
sounding is just the act of inserting an object inside the urethra.
Does it do something to you?
Yes, apparently it does.
No, like the people who practice sounding, like what is
Oh
the?
no, it's completely like a sexual pleasure thing.
Acha, it's
It's not a cold ice plunge.
it's not a cold shower that.
It's not a cold shower. Andrew Huberman, how to breathe properly for maximum dentofacial aesthetics. It's none of those. Yeah,
I watch Huberman a lot.
no, that's one of my. I fucking hate Huberman.
Why?
He is like, I know a lot of people will now like an army of
Yeah.
Huberman boys will show up to in the comment section
Army
because
of boys who have just watched 8 motivation reels. One was Huberman, one was like Fire
Andrew
the People.
Tate,
Andrew Tate was a part of
David
it.
Goggins
David Goggins, like
carrying the
boats
boats.
and logs. They have watched 8 reels. अभी वो ऐसा तेको देखेगा तू hate कर रहा है Huberman पे. Now they'll comment and like
No, what
come at
happens
you.
is with Huberman especially, like this man, he will extrapolate data from like a niche, obscure study with 30 people and try to juxtapose that data and apply it to a whole population. That is just not how studies work. And if you go to a channel like I literally saw a video on how to breathe properly. Motherfucker, your body is designed to breathe. You can breathe. It does not take a rocket scientist to teach. And the reason he's so popular, I know he's a neurobiology professor at Stanford, and I am a recent graduate from a private medical college. But this is not just my view. Like renowned cardiologist Dr. Rohin Francis, Midlife Crisis on YouTube. You can check out his channel. He's one of the smartest people that I know. Probably he's done a degree in cardiology in the UK, by the way. He's done a degree in space medicine. He's applied to the NASA program a couple of times and been shortlisted. Like he's this far away from being one of the first doctors on the moon, probably. Like if
अच्छा.
his plans come to fruition. He's worked with NASA.
Basically, he's a top G in the medical field.
He is
Pura.
the top G who has seen all the G's. Like he's been under high G-force conditions.
Oh.
He's trained in zero gravity. He has like studied zero gravity
Like he
medicine.
can actually practice shit in
Yes.
those conditions.
Yes. Like he is fully qualified to do that.
That is insane.
It is insane. He works with various space organizations and he's trying to go push medicine in that direction. And even he has expressed, so obviously this man is a beast in terms of research and an actual doctor, not a PhD or anything, or like a medical doctor with multiple certifications.
I'm a doctor of math.
doctor of
Do we have a doctor on board?
Yes, I'm a doctor of math. We're about to have a population minus one. Right? And he has expressed multiple times how he dislikes Huberman because of these dumb things. Like an ice shower study with 30 people. And the problem with a lot of these studies, you cannot pick up the data and expect it to work as it is, because if you like the current American diet system where the current global diet system where carbohydrate is king at the base of the food pyramid, you've got your carbohydrates, you've got your proteins, and then your fats. That is fucking made up. The study that this model is based on, the one where carbohydrates are supposed to be the primary consumers, that was funded by Kellogg's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the breakfast is the most essential part of your
the day,
diet. Yeah.
And you should have like a bunch of carbs and limit your fats. Why? This was literally
A propaganda that it was.
You've got the whole primal ancestor lifestyle now with fucking Liver King.
Liver King.
Whose liver is probably thrice the size of a normal liver with the amount of shit he's injecting in his ass. Bro, like pull down your pants, motherfucker. Let me see that glute. Fuckers, भाई इसका बैकसाइड छन्नी जैसा दिखता रहेगा. Like the amount of injections he's put in there. उसमें ऐसा गाढ़नी जैसा चाय डालेगा तो पत्ता रह जाएगा पीछे और अंदर. वो टॉम एंड जेरी में सीन रहता है, पानी पीता और ऐसा परसेंट जिसके पेट में से निकलता है छन्नी, वैसा रहेगा उसका सीन.
Bro, I remember when we used to go back to I just started gymming and like you were already quite out there. So like I was taking advice from this fit trainer udhar jo tha. He just come up to me like, don't. Like, why? Because I'm the one who's giving him steroids.
I was injecting his fucking ass.
I am like,
I was grabbing his cheek and putting the drugs in him. Dog.
उधर वो एकदम ऐसा मैथ कैलकुलेशंस के साथ वो मेरे को सिखा रहा है.
These motherfuckers, like if you see like their this part is called the cubital fossa. They've got black marks because they don't know how to inject the drug properly and they keep using the same site. They're so dumb that they do not know how to take their own substances, and these are the people who you are supposed to take fitness advice from.
And these are the people in most gyms who offer PT as like their
99%
premium services.
Because this is a field where your body cells, like जो दिखता है वो बिकता है.
हाँ.
So you would not want to be trained by a person who looks like Kushal probably, even though he might be more knowledgeable than me.
Yeah.
Even if I'm a complete meathead who has done like a BCom from college in Mulund. Just the fact that I look the way I do is probably going to convince you that oh, he is probably, you know.
अबे हाँ, क्योंकि देख मेरे भाई ने भी रिसेंटली चालू किया जिमिंग एंड यू नो since he's a good cousin of mine, I was like, okay, follow this routine, yo. Basic gym bro instinct जो रहता है ना, once, somebody tells you they've just started gymming. And he's like, no, I'm going to ask my trainer only, उसने body बनाया है ना, ये वो. So I then joined his gym because I was there for like a month or so. I go to his gym, I look at that trainer, bro. I haven't seen a more Geodude looking body than his in my entire life.
दुनिया भर का जूस डाल के ऐसा जिम में जाके वो ऐसा वेट को ऐसा छू के then he will do like 100 kg deadlift for 25 reps. Why? He's taken a strength movement and made it cardio, motherfucker. Eh? You see a lot of these people who do functional movement.
Yeah.
What is functional about like this guy in my gym? He holds a kettlebell with his teeth. I kid you not. He wraps a towel around a kettlebell. He holds a towel in his teeth. It fucking runs around with like 25 kgs hanging from his. I was like, oh, motherfucker, your teeth are going to start flaring out in a couple of years because orthodontic forces are so delicate. Like the way you position your tongue in your mouth,
the way you breathe also it affects, right?
So that is why the how to breathe videos. But the problem, so tangent. So this guy, he does all of that, and I was like, I want to look at your teeth 10 years from now. Just 10 years from now. I just want to see like how flared out like a BMC के फावड़े जैसा ऐसा दांत बाहर रहेगा. No, the how to breathe videos, the problem with that is that it does affect you, but when you are of a growing age, when you are able to influence your bones, when your bones are malleable, once you grow up and your bones are fully ossified and packed with calcium, no way in fuck anything you do is going to alter them. You can do whatever without a surgical procedure, without like strong forces, you cannot alter them. So for me, I was asthmatic growing up. I used to breathe through my mouth all the time. I have a deviated septum, so my nose used to be closed all the time. So my jaw did not develop fully until a certain age.
Yeah.
Around 11, 12 years of age. That is when we started like getting into fixing my orthodontic problems. They taught me how to close my mouth.
By the way, congratulations
on getting my braces off.
Yes, damn, that is what I relate hota hu bhai.
I retained 2 of the screws because I thought they look cute.
Okay.
So the ones here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I told them just leave them in there because I like them. I've grown attached to my dental implants. So even for my case, mouth, like I sealed off my mouth. I started medication for asthma. That helped a lot. My jaw caught up to the lack of development after a while. Now I have like a fairly normal, well-developed jaw. Like for my genetics, everyone, I've caught up with the rest of my family.
Even if somebody wants to say you something, I don't think so they'll approach.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to try any of that.
ये तेरा दांत ना ऐसा दिखता है.
Right, but
suddenly you have an
shutting my mouth and breathing through my nose is not going to help my dentofacial features anymore. When I had to alter my smile a little bit, my maxilla was overgrown. I had to get surgical implants here, and on the inside of my palate. And the whole breathing thing comes. Obviously, you should breathe through your nose because there's a ton of other factors in play. Like your nose is a little more antimicrobial than your mouth. So you are breathing slightly cleaner air. You're able to moisturize the air that you're breathing in. Your mouth is going to dry up your throat, introduce a lot of bacteria into your lungs, all of that stuff. And just it's going to make your lip part a little bit worse.
Okay.
But that is again like you correct these habits growing up, and there's like a very hard ceiling on how much benefit you are going to derive. You don't need to watch a 25-minute video on how to breathe properly. You just have to shut your mouth. That's it. Yeah. And the whole concept of this mouth breathing and like the mewing thing comes from this father-son duo of orthodontists called Mew. Their last name is Mew. That's why the name mewing.
Mewing.
I don't know how one person, like this is not Galileo standing up to the church.
Yeah.
Right? This is not medieval times. Now we have data and evidence for every single thing that we practice in medicine. And these people stand up to the entire orthodontic population of the world and tell them that you guys are fucking cucks because you guys are using orthodontics and not orthotropics and you aren't pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth. No, motherfucker. Don't.
That's... Bro... Just 2 people decide to fuck people up and then they do it.
Yeah, then there's like a bunch of data on how mewing helped my sleep apnea and
sleep apnea. How sleep apnea I think has to do a lot more with your diet and like losing weight
apnea,
in general.
So sleep apnea like
it's that, right?
For obese people, it's just the weight of the mass that you're carrying here. For the other people who have obstructive sleep apnea, it's like your tongue falling backwards. how are you holding the position of your tongue in your sleep? Strengthening the base of your mouth, strengthening your like mandibular floor muscles is one thing. Like you can like learn for your tongue to rest in a better position normally. You cannot mew in your sleep. Sleep apnea is going to give you sleep apnea. The most you can do is like wear certain appliances, wear like a mouth guard or something that keeps your tongue in
You
place.
know, there's this new thing in the market also called jaw trainers.
The
Basically,
jaws are size. The- and then you look like Melton from Riverdale. You get the tambaku jawline. So that is the foundation for it. So that is a thing called masseter hypertrophy. This muscle is called masseter because it helps in mastication, which is the process of chewing. So it extends from your skull to your mandible.
Okay.
And when you chew and you feel this here, that is the
Oh, like when you
right.
Yeah.
That is the whole thing. So most commonly where you see masseter hypertrophy, जो नाके पे खड़ा बिहारी मजदूर रहता है, जो उसका पूरा जिंदगी तंबाकू चबाया है, वो उसको jawline रहता है. Have you seen those motherfuckers jawline?
Yeah. Sharper than the knife. And
Exactly. Rather than training your jaw, how about you just eat a little bit less and get skinny? And that's just going to show your jaw.
Yeah.
Like 4 months back, I was on the heavier side. I'm 83 kgs now. I was 92 kgs 4 months back, 4.5 months back. And I used to think that, oh, my jawline is a little weak and my chin is a little weak. Because you start filling out all this tissue.
Yeah,
and
it's face fat, right?
Right. And the further that your neck tissue, like the skin of your neck, like moves forward because like the girth increases from all the fat, the lesser prominent your chin looks. The less prominent your chin looks.
Yeah.
And the moment it shrinks back down, all of a sudden my fucking jawline is like Giga Chad over here.
Yeah.
Like another 5 kgs and I'm going to be posting those jaw lover job, handsome boys.
Baby,
girly
don't
boys.
hurt me.
Yeah, वो pages रहता है ना, वो jaw loving girls, like hot boys page, like the just girly
doing
things.
like this.
Yeah, just like fucking flexing the shit out of your neck. It looks like a cock with all the veins over here.
I had that face back in school. So like Instagram was new and I didn't know how to post pictures. And like somebody just said that your jaw looks pretty nice. I didn't know. I didn't know that they were referring to that I should put on a little more weight.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, okay, now this is going to be my signature position.
ये अभी तूने वेट का अभी टॉपिक खुल गया है ना, तो मेरे को अभी ये पब्लिक में डालना है. This is not a view that many people agree with.
Yeah.
Is that TikTok is the worst thing to happen to fitness since Rich Piana died.
Oh.
It has ruined gyms across the globe. Like in a funny way and in a non-funny way. In a funny way because now you see like, so many people wearing that dangly earrings who weigh like 35 kilograms, who are fighting their demons after taking 16 scoops of insane labs, psychotic
fever.
No, like
Have you looked at that dabba?
they are fighting their demons by lateral raising 7.5 kilograms for 12 reps with shit form. Yeah, bro, the demons are pissing their pants.
By the way, their dads are paying like a chunk amount of money for their fees and they have a very loving mom.
Yeah, they were solid. Their demons is like the fucking 6 out of 10 from did not agree to go out with them.
I mean, facts.
Their demons is that their father could not get them into fucking Boston University. They have to go to New York University instead.
No. They have to now go to NMIMS.
Yeah, no. Their demons is that they have to submit an assignment before 11:59 today. That is their fucking... Like what? You pull up to the gym in a fucking Skoda, right? Motherfucker, what demons are you? You are 17, right? And you are wearing your father's Tissot. You are wearing like the big ugly fucking shoes that cost 2 lakh rupees in the gym. Right, you are worried about creasing your Jordans. That is your like fucking.
That's why you're skipping lunches.
Right, your biggest concern in life is creasing your ugly fucking generic shoes that you paid a fortune for. While I am, and you are doing what? Like disgusting fucking gutter green color shoes, fucking popty green color shoes. Because some rapper who glorifies the lifestyle of drugs, sex, and hookers is condoning that shoe, right? And they take like the worst, like like people get heart attacks and they die and they injure themselves, and obviously you are taking fucking terrorist labs, insane murder rapist pre-workout, guaranteed to give you priapism. Look up what priapism is.
900 mgs of caffeine.
Right, 900 mgs of caffeine. There's like fucking methamphetamine in there. And you're taking like 5 picograms of cocaine substitute in there. And you go to TikTok and all of these motherfuckers are on SARMs. They're on steroids. They're openly discussing their cycles. I had a 17-year-old walk up to me in the gym and discuss, "Bhaiya, aapka cycle kya hai?" And I looked him in the eye and I was like, "Motherfucker, I ought to slap you."
You can't even punch that kid in the face.
I was like, "I ought to slap you."
You know,
why?
only if that kid was 18.
Like 5 days later after your birthday, I would have slapped him. When I started working out, this isn't too far back. This is like some Victorian era ka baat nahi hai. 6 years ago in 2017. Fitness was a thing. Online fitness was a thing. Influencers were a thing. That's when Joe Lindner started RIP Joe Aesthetics.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I started looking at his content. I used to find him fascinating. And like they were influencing kids in a very positive direction. And that was a different
even
thing.
though they were taking drugs.
Copious amounts of drugs.
Yeah, but unka content wasn't
That was
anywhere.
not the content. That the things now that I see, like some of the reels that I get sent, spam 10, spam test. Like, motherfucker, are you kidding me? There's an actual 14-year-old kid thinking, "Oh yeah, you know what? I need to spam 10."
Yeah.
Back in my day, I bought like a box of creatine for $700, and I used to hide that from my mother in a jar in my nightstand. And it used to be hidden. And when my mom wasn't home, I used to take a scoop of creatine. And that was like, "Oh fuck, I'm on creatine, bro." Like that was my bragging in. Like the first time I hit like
creatine
the first time I hit like 140 kgs on the deadlift, like 3-plate deadlift.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's that fucking creatine, dog. And creatine is just nothing. No, motherfuckers will wake up. They don't know what whey protein to take. They don't know what an amino acid is. They don't know what the constituent of a protein is. They don't know what a fucking, they cannot name half the muscles on their body. And they're discussing cycles with me. Like, that is insane.
Bro, the only cycle you need is
the fucking cycle in the cardio section,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Like, have you looked at yourself? And I just hate it. Like, I get like the reason I go to the current gym that I go to and not the other gyms in the area, even though they might be slightly better. I tried a couple of gyms and there's an army of 16-year-olds wearing Demon Slayer t-shirts and Attack on Titan t-shirts yelling "Tata Kai" before hitting their 60 kg deadlifts. Motherfucker. Like, not to hate. Like,
See, it's not about you hitting the 60 kg deadlift.
yeah, I am glad that people are in the gym. I am glad that people are working on themselves, and I am glad that this culture is catching on, because I have been yelling for years that people need to get fit. But this is just not the way that I want it to happen.
Yeah, because अभी देख मैंने भी कितना notice किया है. It is like there's a shit ton of this meme culture around steroids trend. You don't understand the impact it has on people who are just getting started.
Every time you laugh at something, you normalize it a little bit more. That is why people are so pressed about, "Oh, shouldn't make sexist jokes," or "Oh, you shouldn't normalize like a rape joke or XYZ joke," because then you are contributing to the culture that the society where it is normalized. And that is true to a certain extent. Like, I myself do not have the cleanest sense of humor. The people who are watching this probably know me already, and they know what kind of humor I enjoy. But then it is also your responsibility to moderate. Like, where do you draw the line? Because
in what capacity you are making that joke?
You cannot constantly consume this sort of content.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes normalized in your psyche. Like iDubbbz, the YouTube creator who has now become famous as the internet's biggest cuck. One of his videos, once upon a time, the problem that he faced, like he made, this is an example that I can use for myself as well to a large extent. He used to make like content and he would drop the worst word. Like, he would drop the N word, he would drop the F word in a bunch of slurs and everything. And that was funny at the time being, because it was harmless humor. And he used to say that you shouldn't give words all this power, and you can tell where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But the crowd and the fan base that he eventually ended up attracting because of the things that he said and the way that he influenced people into like
normalizing.
It turned out to be like his fan base just eventually became actual racists.
Oh.
And they became actual homophobes.
Damn.
And that happened to my account to a large extent. Like, the type of stuff that I was putting out, like I would just like wake up one day and like call someone a retard. And that is fine. Like, when you say like, "Are you retarded, bro?" Like, you don't mean it in that way. But then came a slew of people who like started like actually making fun of autistic people. Like, you say autist as a joke, and it like autist as a word has lost its meaning. Like, now when someone actually says like, "Oh, my kid was diagnosed with autism," your first instinct is to cover your laughter rather than showing concern for a very real disease. Same thing has happened with cancer. cancer is such a big deal that people don't realize, and we have normalized it so much. Like to this day, like भाई वो बंदा तो cancer है,
हाँ.
right? And then when someone like says the
बंदा ही cancer
बंदा ही
है.
cancer है, like it
But
doesn't
it do be like that sometimes. Some people.
exactly. तो वही हो गया. तो आइडम्स ने एक बार बोला था, like the first time he said the word cunt,
हाँ.
it was such a negative thing. It felt so disgusting in his throat to say that word.
Yeah.
He said it enough times and it became normalized to the point where he just walks around. It's like in Australia, maybe you can get away with it. In the US, you would just refer to his friend as cunt, and some people would get offended. And it's the same thing. Like it embeds itself into your subconscious and it becomes a part of your psyche. Now, because of the current TikTok and real gym culture that's been prevalent for a while, steroids and just abusing your body and not treating it right has become so normalized. And with the content that you consume, a lot of the times the gym is then associated with other negative connotations. Like it's probably going to be a right-wing person, like a far-right person like Andrew Tate, who teach you to who teaches you to treat women like commodities or something. And then that is what you grow up with, because 15 years old, you are insanely, 16, 17 years old,
Bro,
insanely impressionable. You are 5 reels away from actually becoming a Hitler apologist.
और देखो पता है the most fun part about it, like एक तो unrestricted internet access.
Worst thing.
Unrestricted internet access. Back in the day, the only major problem was pornography for like us kids, because that was something way too extreme. Right now, it is just so much more when it comes to social media as well, because anything can influence towards you.
Pornography is
Yeah.
the least of your concerns on the internet.
Right now, yes.
These days, it is the least of your concerns.
तो भाई तो just to fuck around, ठीक है, क्या किया कि one of these reels only, like जो dank meme reels रहता है ना, like ये
Worst.
उनके comment section में जाके I'm just scrolling trying to find an account which looks like a teenager to me. ठीक है, I find this guy's account, I go on to him. Easy 15-16-year-old has a dedicated highlight for Andrew Tate. And like and bro, the second highlight is his girlfriend.
No.
Bro, I mean, they are in school. Whatever it is to him, bro.
No, but it really is crazy. Like sometimes I open the comment section on a normal, like relatively normal reel, where the girl is like she might be just doing her own thing.
Yeah.
And the comments are just disgusting.
Bro, I shit you not. So like, abhi, you know, aesthetic gymming, like when you like I started watching Sebum's content a lot, and like I got to know okay, there's a whole aesthetic side of the bodybuilding as well. That's when I started following a few female fitness creators as well. And like down the line, unka to like it was mainstream because they were big things, but unko dekh ke like a lot of Indian girls who like got into that
yeah,
thing.
No, I know. I know a few of them personally because they're my friends and they've been working out with me.
Yeah,
And I
I'll take
know-
names. I'll bleep it out or something. Do you know that there's one called there was one who used to come with us in Nitro, like I used to, I guess her.
Yes.
That was one. तब से मेरे को पता चला कि even girls are into aesthetic bodybuilding and shit also वगैरह. Although she might not be doing that, I just got to know उसके through. फिर like I started following these few people called like there's a he's a powerlifter from Karnataka, Kerala somewhere, and there's this करके एक है. These were the 3 people I started following actively, and like they started posting reels. And again, अभी जिम के अराउंड कंटेंट अभी तुम पूरा दिन यही नहीं बोल सकते ना कि ट्राइसेप मारो, ये करो, वो करो. They have to put out cringe and like ऐसा entertainment worthy content also.
Engage people.
Yeah, just to engage people. So they women वाले memes बहुत ये हो रहे थे तभी. So like then she put out a reel तभी, and like I just look at the comments and it is down bad disgusting. And the reel was not something itna offensive also. It was just that his gym partner was lifting like 110 on deads, and like she just rode it. Yeah, ऐसा कुछ किया उसने just to for the sake. And people got so enraged, like for no absolute reason, being derogatory as fuck, that she had
I know.
take the whole post down.
Yeah. And it's not it just it's such a bad space to be in. And a lot of people guys on the internet who complain about women showing off their bodies and then doing this for views, Motherfucker, you are the people giving her the views. Like, it
Yeah.
is you who are spamming her comments. It is you who are sending
It's
that reel to
your
15 other
explore
friends.
page which is filled with
It's your explore
girls,
page.
you
You
know.
have been looking at half-naked Western models for the past 5 years since you've gotten Instagram in the first place. That is why when an Indian woman does it, she shows up on your explore page. Like, and I also dislike this notion when, like, I had a similar conversation with a female friend once, and she told me, oh yeah, like XYZ person, she's a genius because she knows what the market wants. And no, there's no genius in knowing what the market. It's very obvious that
Yeah.
sex sells. It's been years since we know this,
Yeah.
right? It's been happening for centuries at this point. It is just that ये जियो की बदौलत गांव गांव में मतलब
इंटरनेट पहुंचाना बहुत गलत सीन हो गया
जिस
भाई।
इंसान को एबीसीडी नहीं आता है उसके हाथ में अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड इंटरनेट एक्सेस आ गया है। तो जो गधा जिसको मतलब कुएं का मेंढक बोलते हैं ना,
हाँ।
उसको अपन ने ओशन में खुला छोड़ दिया है
वो-
और वो अभी गंदा कर रहा है पॉपुलेशन बढ़ा के उधर। लाइक यू नो दैट, लाइक द एग्जांपल्स, यू ब्रिंग लाइक एन इन्वेसिव स्पीशीज टू एन आइलैंड एंड दे फक अप द होल इकोसिस्टम।
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that internet was like an island, and I'm not saying
Like
this
a-
like an elitist classist thing that, oh no, people from villages. No, but like, I think there should be an internet license where you have to like have a certain IQ and you should pass an aptitude test.
Absolutely. Also for driving. That's the same thing I want for driving license.
Like there needs to be like, you have to educational qualification, age, right? Like a small survey on political opinion. Like it's too far left or too far right? No. Try
And-
again next year, motherfucker.
I know. You can pause if you want to.
ನಾನು 10 मिनट थांब दो.
आता खराब पर 144 वेगो
हा, अरे आपण आधीच अशा बँड्रा पुतना टेन्शन मतलब.
3 वाजता निघायचं तो रेडी करणं पडिया
आपण हाफ एन आवर बँड्रा पुछे टेन्शन मतलब.
सार्थक तू जल्दी निकल मन तार पर भरोसा छी
ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹಾಫ್ ಆನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ರಾ ಪೂಚಾಯು ಬಾಯ್.
हां बाय
Well, I need to do a second video for this
Yes,
also.
for sure. There is like a lot of things.
There are a lot of things I did not cover.
I am actually glad that this podcast is happening because now I have a platform. I have been waiting for a long time to make videos of myself,
Okay.
but then I did not know how I would go about it. And yeah, now I have a podcast.
Well,
No,
then-
no, but the thing is, like, everyone needs a creative outlet. Now, people can
I know the business and you know the chemistry.
people know how to sing, people know how to paint, and they can express themselves that way. I think I have my talent is not singing, dancing, or anything of that, but I have a way with words, or I have a decent conversationalist. I would like to believe, as my accolades would prove.
It's not about that. A very good reason why I asked you was not just on top of your mind. Yeah, इसने med school किया है वो. I've been knowing you for a while and
Yeah, so now there's
let's go.
like a couple of episodes like on specific topics, and we can discuss that a little bit more in depth.
But like the thing which you said that you know the chicks who are into gymming, Avi, they just have to face a lot of shit. It is one reason why I do not approach girls in the gym because probably in the back of my mind is ki, you know
In India, you cannot approach girls anywhere. I
yeah
will tell you for a fact, because when you compare this to approaching women is a Western concept.
yeah
India has historically had cultures and religions majorly where your family is supposed to approach another family straight up. There is no moderation.
I very well stand by that.
Right? No, like, I don't know if I completely agree, but anyway, like in the Western,
no,
even when I was in France, I don't know, like, yeah, French people are apparently very rude to a lot of people. I can speak decent French, and I used to always start a conversation in French. Even in Switzerland, like South Switzerland is all French speaking.
yeah
So for the 6 days that I was in Paris and Geneva and Lyon, I was able to very freely talk to strangers on the streets, just start a conversation, and they would reciprocate all of my energy, if not more. Multiple times I was stopped in the streets by people to talk to me. Like they would just compliment my shirt. They would say that my watch looks lovely, or they would say that I have sick tattoos and where I got them, and they
yeah
it was just stuff like, and you cannot do that in India.
yeah
In India, you could be the nicest looking motherfucker and you approach like someone in nature's basket and she will get creeped out
yeah
because
Because
the atmosphere is so bad that you never know. Like
Because-
it's not all men. It's always a man.
it's always a man.
Anyone who pulls up a statistic about women abusing men, or that, I'm not saying that it's not a problem, but
But-
how big of a problem is it? Like, what is the percentage out of all like
And bro, you motherfuckers don't deny that if a woman is hitting a man, you wouldn't be the first person to whip out your camera, record that
Yeah,
shit,
exactly, bro.
and laugh the fuck out of it.
And like most times when like if a woman is hitting you, I don't think even if I am well capable of putting someone in the ground, I don't think I would raise my hand back.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because then
There's just a different sense of power to know that I can ruin this person. Even
yeah,
that is
like
the
even in
factor.
public, if someone starts a fight, that is just my philosophy in life in general. I'm a very anti-violent person. वो गांधी जी का अहिंसा वाला principle थोड़ा मैं use करता हूँ. Even like a lot of the times I have gotten into altercations where I just some people say that, oh yeah, what a pussy, he doesn't want to fight. Motherfucker, I don't want to seriously get injured, seriously injure someone else, involve the police. It's a whole hassle,
Yeah.
right? And like coming back to the men and women conversation, like this very good example that I saw on the internet sums it up like beautifully. When you and I talk about a woman that I'm talking to, like a girl that I've just met, and I will say something like, oh, she's a little bit psycho. You are thinking she's psycho in the sense like she will stalk my phone, or she will like go through my chats, or she will message the women in
Yeah.
my DMs. Or when girls say that this guy's a psycho, that guy's a fucking rapist, that guy is going to assault her, that guy might fucking kill her. You don't know what he's going to do.
That are the parameters, for a psycho
Like
as a man.
that is the standard. Exactly.
Yeah, that is a standard.
Exactly. Like you also have to realize like what power you hold and what like historically like the thing is people keep shifting blame to the past.
Yeah.
So for instance, men love to crib about how men's mental health is ignored and largely
Yeah. Men's mental health day.
yeah, like men love to crib about how men's mental health is largely like ignored and ostracized or whatever, and how men have the high suicide rates, and how it's a double standard that men can't say some certain things and this and that. Motherfucker, who created this society? Men. The patriarchy that exists, this is your forefathers' fault.
Yeah.
It is us men who make fun of our fellows when they cry to us about something, and we say, "Oh, don't be a pussy or don't cry or whatever."
Yeah.
And then when the same motherfucker commits suicide, oh, how could I have known? He was just not the kind of person. He was such a brave fighter. Like women will have support groups and they will have like I do, like not all, obviously, like there's exemptions to every rule. But then you have to realize that it is our past that like it is men of the past who have shaped the current society to be the way that it is. If women get more views on social media from being half naked, it is because your grandfathers were fucking perverts.
Yeah.
And it's because Hugh Hefner was a fucking global phenomenon in his time. It's because Playboy was a thing, right? And there was no such thing called like a Playgirl magazine for women. Right? Going beyond that, when the Catholics entered Rome, Greece was such an open society with their pantheon. Women were like almost equal, pretty much like in every sense of the way. And then the Greeks came over with Catholicism, came over, the missionary became a thing, right? And then all of a sudden, women were inferior and women were to cover themselves up. And like a certain very large religion that I am too afraid to name came into the world.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, women have to cover up. Like, look at the example of what happened in Syria. Like, it is the men who have been creating this toxic cesspool of a society where both women and men suffer.
Yeah, but like, it's the thing that pisses me off the most. Everything about this is just, royally fucked up as deep as you get in. Okay, it's not something you can sum up in one nutshell.
You can't.
But like, the thing which pisses off me the most, that if you are a man or if you are a guy who got like decent education, is associated with a circle of people and like acquaintances which are of a certain standard, who have maybe a lot more educated and privileged than you or something, then you should have the basic knowledge to acknowledge ki okay, shit's fucked up, shit has been fucked up, and shit is going to be more fucked up. So what I as can be, what I can do, which will harm the least to the whole
At least,
agenda.
like, try to rectify
Yeah,
a
like
little bit.
I am not able to express it, but like to give you an example, it's like, if you find someone cute at, as you said, at the supermarket or something, and like you want to approach her, but like you just shouldn't, in my opinion, because maybe approach her in a very different way where you know
Like, so people
approach her. I mean, again, I do not
भाई,
mean
YouTube पे अल्फा एम का बेस्ड जूस का वीडियो देख के तुम उसके पास में जाओगे ऐसा हे क्यूटी ऐसा Fucking was that guy named Jose Zuniga's videos you will watch? Fucking 15 sprays of Dior sewage. Smell like a fucking headache, right? Wearing the big ugly brands, and you just walk up to her and like, shishing, and that's really cut that
Yeah.
out. I don't know why I made that face. Do like the no motherfucker, just don't do it. Like with my face, the way that I currently look, like if I'm clean shaven or if I at least have like a half beard or something, and if I'm well dressed or someplace, I might start a general conversation. Like if I'm standing in the lift with someone and I have to climb 30 floors,
Yeah, see, exactly. So that was what I was saying.
very
Like,
situational.
approach her in a way that,
Or
you
if
know,
you're in a social, like if I'm in a house party or if I'm someplace like if we are standing outside the club in a line and it's going to be a while or something, no,
you just
very
get
general
the
impact.
setting, right?
You
If
get
it's
the-
a club, obviously she is there to like, she wouldn't be taken aback if someone
No,
approaches
but they
her.
do. That's the thing. Like in India, even you cannot take like Western hangout concepts and apply them here. Because here, most of the time, women go to the club, they just want to have like a fun girls' night out and they want to be with the girlies and they want to be left alone. Right? They do not need 15 motherfuckers.
But trying to buy them a drink or
fucking
something.
buy them a drink which is probably spiked and then like thrusting their fucking
Thought shit.
trying to do some pelvic sorcery on them. They don't need that shit, right? वही होता है कि like you see these videos like ऐसा just walk up to a woman like it's all about confidence, bro. No, motherfucker, you know what confidence gets you in India? Police report. Like don't do that shit. Okay,
Yeah.
just don't just leave them alone for fuck's sake. Don't walk up on that shit, no matter how much drip you think you have. Right? Don't rev your bike looking at the like making intense eye contact with the lady. Don't pull up in your tinted out fucking BMW and rev your engine in front of her. She's going to motherfucker, she is clutching her keys right now. Her pepper spray is ready. Right? You do not want to taste that shit.
Your face has permanently traumatized her.
Yeah, that's what like I am very self-aware of how I look. Like traditional Indian standards, I am a fucking hunk of a man. I am the pinnacle of masculinity. I've got the silky hair, I've got the twisted up mustache being a Rajput. This is like my ancestors. They rocked this look and they were the most handsome motherfuckers to walk the face of the planet.
Yeah.
during their time, right? If I take this face and I
Not
go
walk, ride on
right,
horses.
I go to a club with this face and I talk to a lady with eye contact. Motherfucker, she is like this happened at a restaurant. Like I thought this girl looked very familiar, like genuinely looked very familiar to me. And she looked like one of the medical students that I met during like a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And another one of my friends that thought that she looked like someone from his building, like or her general locality. Like he'd seen her near like his local mall a couple of times. So rather than debating between us, I said, you know what? Let's just fuck it. I'll just go and ask her. So I walked up to her very politely. Like, I was well dressed. It was a very like decent establishment, and I just said that, hey, excuse me, I'm very sorry for interrupting your dinner. I'm Sarthak. I'm Dr. Sarthak. Have to sneak that
Have
in.
to slip that in.
5.5 साल पढ़ाई किसके लिए किया भाई? तो इसलिए तो-
General Londo
and then it
जैसे.
also like gives like a sort of like better impression of yourself, like right.
Obviously.
Like I am Dr. Sarthak and I was just here with a couple of my friends here, and so I just happened to glance at you when you walked in, and I thought that you look very similar to this XYZ person. Like very, it's not trying to hit on someone like, hey, do I know you from someplace? No, motherfucker. I had a very specific example. I said, I think you look like this person, like from this medical college. And I just, and one of my friends thought that you were this person from like someplace else, like he had seen. So I just figured that I would settle it, like rather than having a debate there. Now she was very frightened despite my very polite approach. Like even though this was like just like a very general question, and that is like just using this as an example to highlight what happens. And she said, "Oh no, I think you're mistaking me for someone else," and that's it. I just said, "Okay, once again, I'm very sorry for interrupting your dinner. I hope you have a lovely night ahead. Thank you so much." That's all I said. The mistake.
See, this is a basic polite approach you should.
It's a very
give.
normal human adult interaction.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers will say, hey, do I know you from someplace? No, I don't think so. Oh, but I've seen you outside. Oh, I don't go to. Are you sure though?
Are you sure?
Well, I think I've seen you in front of. Motherfucker, leave her alone. What's wrong with you? Oh well. Oh, maybe you're not her. Well, I thought you were cute. Done. Right? Can I give? This happened to a friend of mine.
Can I get you a drink is the
अरे-
worst approach.
अरे
like.
तुम्हारी माँ का भाई चलो अभी थोड़ा मैं इंग्लिश को साइड में रखता हूँ क्योंकि एने आ गए तो मेरे को ये 2 मिनट थोड़ा मेरा भाषा गंदा करने का, ठीक है?
Let's go.
अंदर का मुंबई कर बाहर निकलता हूँ.
Apparently, most of the people who watch this are from N. So we are going to address it as a certain big institution
No,
located
I don't fucking care. You fucks, you bastards, you bitches and bastards. You can come and fight me all you want. I will fucking bury you, motherfucker. This is not a threat. This is a promise. कैंटीन में लड़की खड़ी थी, उसको नाम का कोई था. I'm using names. I'm dropping names, motherfucker. Right? I know you're watching. You sick motherfucker from N. Watches her and he's like, hey, you look very cute. She's like, okay, thank you very much for the compliment. Most of the times people will appreciate a compliment. Like, maybe don't say that you look cute. Maybe compliment something else. Like, I love your dress or I love your hair color or I love this shade or like whatever. And then just dip. Just compliment and dip. Okay, don't wait around. Don't linger around. If they're interested in you, they will call you back for a conversation. And he's like, hey, you look cute. She's like, yeah, thank you. So it's like he made some small talk with her like a retard. Right in front of the NMIMS canteen.
तो टाइम क्या है?
50 रुपए के सैंडविच के ठेले के सामने तुम कैसा रेस वापर सकते हैं भाई? Right, and then he goes, oh, you look very cute and can I have your number? She's like, why don't you give me your number? And like, if I feel comfortable, I will give you a call later. Which is what a nice, solid approach and what a polite answer.
Yeah.
This coming from an Indian lady, like, let me have your number and when I feel comfortable, I will like contact you. That is the best outcome that you can, like, one of the best outcomes you can
That
hope for.
is, if you if you
Right,
just give
the average outcome is getting you fuck no what the fuck is like pepper spray.
a load
Lauda. Headshot.
See, you just
Hat का grip निकाल के ना. Right, you know what the average response is? Let me. Oh wow.
let's go.
Right? If I had been around and one of like you tried that shit with one of my friends. अरे बढ़िया.
But like,
And then what this motherfucker did, what is he took his phone, he took her phone, entered his number in there, and instead of just handing it back like a normal person, motherfucker gives himself a call,
Arey.
right? And then he picks up his phone and saves her number immediately.
That
And the girl told him on his face, she's like, भाई मेरे को नहीं तेरे को नंबर दे रहा था मेरा. Then what was the point of me taking your number? Like you
Yeah.
have taken my authority and comfort.
bro,
out of
if that guy would have just dipped, there were higher chances of her to call her
It's
back.
solid chance that she might have even contacted him on a bad day when she's just feeling sad and miserable in this
Because her nicotine addict,
6'3" nicotine addict Chuth did not text her back. They should probably would have texted you. But no, you had to ruin it.
Bro, why the fuck did you do that?
Cuck yourself, dog.
Bro, I shit you not, the whole dating scene and that
Rats and infidels.
I have been associated with
No, there are only
one person.
There are only rats and infidels in this city, and I don't think you should date anyone. I think you should just, like as Kushal said, you should wait for arranged marriage at this point because.
हाँ bro, arranged marriage is amazing. भाई, damn, so that was
When you were 15 dams and 3, that's crazy in, but Sarthak still hasn't stopped talking.
yeah. No, but I expected this to be a lot of tomfoolery in general because again I came with a mindset after stalking your account for a while.
No, you expected Amba Singh. I gave you like actual Sarthak.
I did not, but like I do not regret it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got Sarthak premium experience.
What the fuck does that mean?
Sarthak premium experience is the experience me and my sisters get.
This is my Jamie.
Yeah. See, Sarthak premium experience is for all audiences.
Sarthak premium experience
The
is
next
only
episode is going to be
Sarthak premium experience is available for only $10.99 a month. Subscribe to my premium Snapchat. I don't believe in OnlyFans. I'm an old-fashioned person.
Sarthak?
Let's.
No.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate you too for doing this
No worries, dog. Hopefully, we will do this again soon.
very soon.
Totally have not planned this to. have not planned to do this again very very soon.
No, but I genuinely appreciate you doing this. Like,
Alright, man.
Yes.
Cool. Take care.